Welcome friends to my YouTube channel. I am Dr. Shailendra Tomar and I've been not uploading the video from past so many days. Today I have came up with a very senior person. He is a law expert. He is also a graduate in pharmacy. He is also attached to the 65-year-old Premier Institute Faculty of Management Studies. So my topic would be like, if any person who is opening up his business or a clinic or a hospital, if they start their business, so what they should do. I mean, if somebody like me has planned to open up a clinic by the name of XYZ dental clinic or XYZ dental hospital, so what should I do? What should my approach? Because what happened to me is that when I open my clinic, I see 10 clinics by the same name. So what should I do and what are my rights? How we can go for that?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Shailendra. Myself, I am Ramkumar Gupta and I practice as a intellectual property. I am an intellectual property attorney, and basically, whenever you are starting a business, and since you will be successful one day, so people may use your brand name, they may use your image by copying the names similar to you. Correct. So, in order to protect yourself so that others do not copy you, you should first and foremost go and file a trademark. Okay. It is a trademark that will distinguish you from others. So this is a protection that the government will give you, okay, provided that you have applied for a trademark. Okay. So once you have applied for a trademark, and once that trademark is granted, okay, so no other people can use the same name, similar name, or phonetically even sounding similar names. Okay. They cannot use it. Correct. They will be barred by the law. If they are used, they have to follow the consequences that may come up.
So my question is that the new person who is starting his business, he don't have any knowledge of any trademark. Suppose I plan to open up a clinic. My name is XYZ Dental Clinic. How should I register that? Where should I go and what is my approach for that?
So in order to register your trademark, there are many law firms who will provide you these services, and for this only what you have to do is you have to approach those law firms and they will check that the name that you are proposing to use for your business, is it already been granted to someone else, and can it be granted according to the law of the land. So there are some criteria what name you should propose for your clinic or for any establishment. It is not only for a clinic, any establishment, any business, even a shop, even a sweet corner or even services. So what you have to basically do is that you have to think of a name. Don't think of a generic name. Okay. Government always bars anyone to take a generic name.
Generic name, can you just explain?
Like a generic name, just for example, you will go with a Delhi bookstore. Okay. So you are appropriating a name Delhi. Okay. Delhi is a name that is available to all the public. Correct. So you cannot take the exclusive right of that name. Oh, okay. So you have to always go for innovative names.
But sir, I have seen during my practice also, some of places they name like Delhi Dental Academy or these kind of name they use. So if I want to open with this name, is there any provision in the law so that I can open by this name?
Law doesn't bar anyone to use these names.
Okay, sir.
So only the bar is that the controller who is going to grant you the trademark for that, he will be not happy to give that, because that has already been barred in the law, that no one can use a generic name.
But sir, I've seen a lot of firms are working with this name. Yes.
And I am coming to the second point, that there are many firms who are using this name like a very generic name. So there is a provision in law again, that how are you going to use those names. Those names are only registered or protected when you have given an enough reputation in the market. Okay, sir. So that is always after reputation only you will be getting that name. Okay. It is not that before getting a reputation you cannot register, but once you have been known by that name, and anyone who is going to, for example, when I say that XYZ name, and if I tell anyone, and if they recall your only, means they will connect you with that name, okay, then it will be believed that you have gained the sufficient amount of reputation in the market, and on that basis you may be granted protection.
So I understand that after some time, if I using a generic name, I can apply for that registration, and,
Yes.
and the chances are that I will get that.
There are chances, but there are very comparatively
Less.
for innovative names or a very different name, you will get registration 100%. But in this type of generic names, you will be always it will be on the discretion of the controller to grant or not.
Okay, sir.
So there is when there is a discretionary power, so how he will be satisfied that you have gained that mark or not. Just like Bikaner Sweet Wala. Bikaner is again a name of a place.
Okay.
But he didn't registered his name first. First
Okay.
he made a reputation in the market. Now whenever any people anywhere in the India or outside India also, even when they talk about Bikaner Wala,
Okay, sir.
so we only we totally link with that one establishment.
That's fine, sir.
So once they have gained that reputation, after that only the controller of trademark will recognize it and protect it. Otherwise it will be very difficult, and it is very difficult to even prove that you have gained a sufficient amount of reputation into the market. So it is a discretionary. I always suggest that go for a very unique name.
Okay.
And that route is preferable, because however you are going to make a reputation, so choose such a name that you can be granted and you have a protection from the day one only. So in order to avoid the obligations of proving the reputation, you are saving yourself those effort of proving the reputation. So this way you can suggestion is that, but once you have already established, if you have gained enough amount of reputation, and whenever there will be examination that you have gained sufficient reputation or not, for that you have to say what are the number of years that you have been working with that name.
Okay, sir.
What are the different how many revenue have you made, and how do you prove that you have already gained that amount of reputation. That obligation will always be with you, and that is always a subjective thing that will be on the discretion of the controller.
Sir, on the very short note, if I want to register my clinic, where should I go first?
You can directly go into the website of the government website.
So,
since
if that process is very difficult, so people can contact
Yes.
you or any other person.
I will means it is always advised to go with some expert, because they will give you an expert advice that they will go first. They will do a preliminary search and say that these names are appropriate or not according to the law.
Okay.
And if it has been taken by someone else, or if it has been issued to someone else or not. And after that, once that has been established, the procedural part the expert will be knowing, and he will file this, all the appropriate papers on your behalf to the controller, and they are not going to grant you trademark in one application only.
Okay.
One application in one step only. There will always be an objection that will be coming, and since
then you have to clear that objection. Then you
for
can apply.
clearing that objection, you need to have an expert who is already practicing this type of work, and he will know how to answer to he will understand what the examiner is asking, and according to that he will prepare answers for your he will defend your trademark, and he will say that it is different from the earlier existing, whatever the objection that has been raised, he will be competent to address those objections, and you will be getting the trademark as soon as possible. Otherwise it goes into pending and you may not be granted. So I always advise you should always go with the advice of an expert.
And I really want to tell you that Mr. Ram Gupta is a meritorious student in Faculty of Law in University of Delhi. He is also associated with the FMS, Faculty of Management Studies, and he also run a firm which do IPR. IPR is Intellectual Property Right. So if anybody want to know anything about that, I'll share his number with the link of this video, and you can go and contact him that what should we do. So it's very important for a new clinician to safeguard their name, because once you become a brand, it will be very difficult to defend you, because other people can take the advantage of that. So it's always to go for an intellectual property right and start your business. So as of now, thank you so much. I really want to thank Dr. Gupta also, and he was an expert in this field and explained you everything in detail. Still, anything if you want to ask, you can write in the comment section. And thank you so much from here. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tomar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.